Alright guys, today's video is going to look a little different today. As you can tell, I'm warming up, which you never see because it rarely ever happens. Obviously, when you're younger, you can get away with never warming up. But now that I'm older, like halfway through 25 and now that I'm 26, definitely feeling the repercussions of never warming up. So today's video will look a little different, not only because of that, but because today we're training like Mike Mentzer. I know what you're thinking. Don't you mean Mike Israetel? He's bigger and stronger than Mike Mentzer.
Who am I compared to Mike Mentzer? Well, I'm bigger and stronger than Mike Mentzer. I'm more educated than Mike Mentzer. I know more things than Mike Mentzer. That's it. Oh.
Okay, all jokes aside. So today is shoulder day, and that's why I'm warming up, because on every day today, it's going to be one all-out set to failure. I'm feeling shoulder press machine all the way to failure. Lateral raises to failure. Front raises, upright rows, finish with cable, reverse flies. So, 4 or 5 exercises? All one set to absolute failure. Mike Mentzer was a big proponent of high intensity, low volume. So, I want to try something new. I've been doing the same thing for my shoulders for years. And it sounds fun. Feel like it'd be a better viewing experience for you guys as well. Something different. So I'm going to finish warming up, and then I'll see you guys over at the shoulder press machine. You know, having a bit of an epiphany that I should have just started the channel as I train as Mike Mentzer until I get to 160 pounds, because I only have to film one set. I don't have to move the camera, except for once per exercise. That being said, this is going to be a much more intense workout than I normally do. So, 130 pounds, very deep on the stretch here. Oh, that's a freaking failure. A very important part of this is making sure you get enough of a break between sets, because if you don't, then you're definitely going to end up with an injury. And I'm not here to get injured, believe it or not. So I just finished that set my lance of shoulder press, and already with my traps and my front and side delt are extremely pumped. So that's why I'm taking some time to talk to you guys instead of getting straight into this. But we're going to go lighter. Normally I play 20s, once in a while 15s if I just want to go way more pumpish. Since this is almost going to be a combination, you're going all out till failure, very pumpish, but also very intense. I'm going to put 15s, so it's just one set. Oh, oh, that's a burn. Holy crap. Oh. Ooh. Oh man. Ooh. Oh. All right. Get into those workout flies. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Shoulders are on fire. All right. I know what you guys are thinking. So, how long did that workout even take if it was 5 exercises, 1 set to all out failure? Well, if you remove the warm up and just take into consideration the minute to minute and a half long sets with a minute to 2 minute rest between each, we're pushing 16, 17 minute workout. But I mean, you can hear I'm still fairly out of breath after just that last set. So So was it worth the drive in to hit it that way? Well, let's just say this. Do what is best for you, training-wise, always. What you enjoy most. Mike Mentzer happened to enjoy this training style. He also believed that it was the most efficient way to train, and this is how he trained his clients, with very low volume, very high intensity. And that's what he believed. But at the end of the day, I've preached on this channel since the beginning. It's what works best for you. It's what you enjoy the most that's going to keep you coming back. Does it have merit? For sure. I have one of the craziest shoulder pumps I've ever had. Despite taking decently long breaks, because for me, I might wait 30 to 40 seconds between a set. And I'm never that winded. But a minute or two between sets of just one all-out set to failure, whew, winded. So I would say it has its merits, for sure. Craziest shoulder pump I've ever had. Good intensity, the whole workout, in and out. As someone who prefers high volume, as someone who prefers, being in the gym an hour to 45 minutes at the least to an hour, sometimes longer. It just depends on how long it takes me to get said workout in. But as someone who just, his body responds better to higher volume, my body, I just prefer higher volume training. It's what I personally enjoy. A lot of people would argue that I do a lot of junk volume. Mike Mentzer style training isn't for me. That being said, it doesn't have to be for you to implement it once in a while. Mike Mentzer's way of training, no matter how you like to train, is a good way to get in a workout with good intensity that you're going to see results from because of the intensity, because of the burnout, because you have to come in and give it your all every set, no excuses, no putting down the weight as soon as it starts to burn. Here's the thing. I picked a weight that I figured would be challenging enough. Maybe 5 to 10 pounds lower than what I would normally use. And I didn't count a single rep. I went until it was uncomfortable. Went past that. Started having to put in cheat reps. And went until I couldn't physically move that weight again if I tried. Like on the upright rows, right? If I went for one more, you might have seen the needle. Yeah, if you put a gun to my head, could I have gotten another rep? No. That's that style of training. You have to come in and push yourself, and to the point that you allowed the weight to humble you. And so, like I said, it's a great way. Nice brinker, buddy. It's a great way to get a workout in a very brief amount of time. That's going to be just as effective, maybe even more, depending on the merit of the science and everything behind it, and if you actually pushed yourself to failure or not. And this is the kind of workout where you have to know your body. And 2, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to know what failure actually looks like and be willing to hit it. A lot of people, it's like the moment, it's kind of pumpish in the muscle, like you got a pump going, and you're entering the realm of needing to start doing cheat reps. That's like, that's failure. Jeff Nipard's way of training, where you have like a crap ton left in reserve, like 5 reps left in reserve, 3 reps left in reserve, and it's like, close enough.
Training to failure.
Bodybuilders tend to overemphasize how important going to failure is.
Hard enough to maximize the muscle stimulus, but not so hard that you create too much fatigue. This is basically how I've trained for the last 10
years. This is like pushing yourself to not only like mechanical failure, like where you can no longer execute the mechanics of the exercise, perfectly, where your form is going to have to degrade some. You're going to have to start doing some cheat reps, but to actual physical failure where you cannot get that weight up again, even if you cheated it, without full on putting your whole body behind it to budge the weight at all. Which at that point, you're done. If you have to hip thrust it out from the bottom to get another row, you're done. So that was a very enjoyable workout. It has its merits for sure. And it's funny to think that someone like Jeff Nipard, since we were just talking about him, who has preached for years high volume, who has preached for years 3 reps in reserve, who has preached for years to, not go to failure, magically dropped a new training protocol, a new training book, new program to sell after years of high volume, after years of saying 3 sets in reserve, after years of he doesn't need to go to failure, claims that he trained for a year to failure, 1 all-out set, pretty much Mike Mentzer's way of training. And what claims he made the most gains he's ever made in his life, and selling a program revolved around that style of training. Same thing with Mike Mentzer or Mike Israetel. I know I made the joke earlier in the video, his stupid claim of he's bigger and smarter and everything than Mike Mentzer. One, false. Mike Israetel probably blasts more gear than Mike Mentzer ever looked at, and doesn't look a fraction as good as Mike Mentzer. And that's down to genetics, not just training philosophy. But, Mike has always been very, I will say this about Mike Israetel. Unlike Jeff Nipard, I do think Mike trains to failure. But I think he also does do a lot of volume. So he has also been a very high volume guy. And if you've watched his Instagram of late, all of a sudden he does 3 or 4 exercises, a few sets. So it's as he's learned more over the years, as he's, trialed and errored his way through different exercise philosophies and working out philosophies and everything else, he's lowered his volume. And then you listen to someone like Greg Doucette, who talks about how he used to train, 7 days a week, balls to the wall, and now he says he trains full body 3 times a week, low volume, high intensity, and he's maintained all that muscle. Obviously, he talks about he's on HRT and stuff, but it's funny to think that there's a lot of people would argue, oh, this or that, but there is so much merit to the high intensity, low volume training as well. It's just not enjoyable to me as much as high volume is. So for me personally, to stay in the gym, I enjoy the higher volume. Not to say that I let my intensity lack, but lower volume, high intensity in the sense that of what Mike Mentzer did isn't for me. Now, if I did 10, 15 sets, so cutting down my volume by quite a bit, and then up to the intensity, that would probably still be high enough volume that I would still enjoy that workout. But for me personally, high volume is just how I prefer to train. That being said, no matter how you train, throwing in a workout like what I just did with the training philosophy of Mike Mentzer to get in a good workout in a short amount of time, if you're ever strapped for time, by all means, the kind of workout I just did has it do that. That is where to swap that in if it's not your style of training. I didn't have a lot of time to train today. I got stuff to do. I don't have a crap ton of time to train tomorrow. I can't promise tomorrow will be another one set. It might be like 2 to 3 sets, higher intensity 4 exercises. But yeah, normally my shoulder workout might consist of 16 to 20 working sets. Compared to today, it was 5. My shoulders are pumped. They feel so full right now, like uncomfortably full. It is exhausting to have my arm on the steering wheel right now. Like, beyond exhausting to have my hand on the steering wheel right now. To have my arm up. And it's not like my shoulder is doing the work to keep my arm up right now. It's resting on the steering wheel. But just having it up like this instead of down here, like, not exactly easy right now. My shoulders are pumped. They are sore. And it was a dang good workout. So, I'm not, the point of today's video wasn't, should you switch to Mike Mentzer style of training? Should you ditch however you prefer to train and do it? No. It was to not only show, like, this is how he trained. This is, this is how he did it. This is what he believed. This is how we train people. But also to show that it has merit and when and how to implement it, even if this isn't how you normally train. And I am the perfect example. I am not a low volume guy. I do not enjoy that style of training because I enjoy my time in the gym and I like getting like a really good pump. Like, I enjoy coming in, repping out reps, and getting them freaking juicy pump. Like, being in, like, I enjoy my time in the gym, so it does not bother me in the slightest to be there for an hour. But at the same time, we're all human. We all have lives outside the gym. And sometimes you don't have that hour. You don't have that 45 minutes. I didn't have that today. I got to get home and pack for something I'm going to tomorrow. I got to shower. I got to cut my hair, trim the beard because they're getting out of control. I got to get food prepped for tomorrow for the trip because I'm not going to have, I don't know where we're going out to eat, but knowing the group of people I'm going with, it's not going to be a healthy option. I don't know what I might spend on it. So I got to go home, meal prep, take care of my old brother. He needs to get showered tonight as well. Got to cook him dinner, do his homework with him, the whole 9 yards. So I didn't have a lot of time for a massive, insane workout today. So that's where this kind of training and this training philosophy comes in handy. Is it how I like to train? No. Is it useful and a valid way to train? Yes. At the end of the day, this channel is and will always preach, do what you enjoy. What will keep you in the gym? What will keep you coming back? That is the best way to train. But instead of, like, I had every right to today. Brandon's not coming to the gym with me. I don't have a crap ton of time to work out. The drive itself was younger than the workout. So it took an hour in total if you count the drive in, the workout, and the drive back. Do I have an hour to set aside? Especially if 20 minutes of that hour is the workout. 1/3 of the amount of time it's going to take me to do all this is the workout. Is that worth doing? Is that worth setting aside time for? And that's the difference between being 300 pounds like I was or being 200 pounds. Is not only having the willpower to say, it doesn't matter how much time there is to do it. I feel good enough to work out. I'm not battering an injury. I don't need a deload week. I don't need a rest day. Yeah, maybe one is coming down the line, but I'm not there yet. Is there a valid excuse other than it will have to be a shorter, high-intensity workout, and you just don't want to do it? Because that's what gets me about people who say, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time for gym. Do you not have time? Or do you know because you don't have a lot of time to dedicate to it, that for it to be worth anything, you will have to up the intensity? Are you not willing to put in the work necessary to make that time as valuable as if it was a younger workout? Because, yeah, a younger workout where I can go higher volume, the intensity doesn't have to be as much as today's workout was. So it's like, are you just making an excuse because you know you'll have to put in more work to make that time as valuable, to see good results from that time? Because you know for a fact if you came in for only 20 minutes to get a workout in, you might only get 6 sets in, which is like 4 sets of one exercise and 2 sets of another, and then, oh crap, I'm out of time. And it's a very low effort workout, and you didn't even get that many exercises in, but hey, you didn't sacrifice that volume you love so much. You didn't have to up the intensity. I will say it time and time again. If you don't have a lot of time for the gym, but you do have time, use it. Just use it wisely. And that's what today was. I knew I didn't have time for like 2 to 3 sets of all 5 exercises. Because normally that is my solution. 2 or 3 sets instead of my 4. 3 or 4 exercises. Today was 5. Get out. I didn't have that time. But there's different training philosophies. There's different ways to train. I tell you what, I'm going to be filming this shoulder workout for a while. Like, I'm feeling it right now. I'd rather see you go to the gym. I'd rather see myself go to the gym, even if 20 minutes is all the time you have to give. But don't make excuses. Don't waste your own time. Up your intensity. Take the necessary amount of time between sets you need. Don't, because you're short on time, try to up the intensity and take short breaks. Take the breaks necessary. I never take a minute or 2 on my breaks. Never. Never have, almost never will. But today, it's like, okay, keeping the weights up while pushing till absolute failure. You need a decent break between sets. Now, we're not talking powerlifter, get out your starburst and take a nap on the bench style break, but at least a minute or 2. All that being said, that was a phenomenal workout. And I hope that videos like this where I do still go in with a short amount of time, even if there's not as much to watch or to gauge from this video, that you guys watch it and go, oh, if some random kid in Missouri, some random guy in Missouri with 80 subscribers who has nothing to prove because there's no eyes on him, 88 people know he's doing this bodybuilding show. 88 people know he came to the gym today. 89 counting himself. If he can drag himself to the gym for a workout that's shorter than the drive to get there, because it's better than taking the day to sit on his rear end and do nothing when there was no valid excuse to do so. Maybe I should go to the gym when I only had 30 minutes to spare to do it today. I only have 40 minutes before I have to pick up the kids from school. Only 40. And the gym's 10 minutes away. Okay? 10 minutes. 20-minute workout. 10 minutes back. That's all I'm saying. You know, if this series does anything, I don't care if it makes me some actual fitness influencer. I don't care if it blows up. I don't care if it brings me fame and fortune. I don't give a crap about any of that. If it inspires somebody, if it gets somebody to get up and say, that's it, I'm going to the gym today. And if me not being afraid to say that I'm a Christian on this channel once in a while, if that also gets you guys to maybe check out the faith, that makes it all worth it. If I get someone to go to the gym, and if I spread the love of God, end of story, this channel is worth it. Even if it's only 88 of you. I will end the video with saying this. I gave you guys an update on Dad yesterday. So update, the surgery definitely took longer than expected. As I said, 2 hours. And I believe Mom said he was out 5 hours after it went in. So unless she just completely forgot the message, her message said, he just got out. So super young surgery. They put, I don't remember what she said, but they fixed the whole thing. They do not have to go in for another surgery, they said. So he is out and on the other side of it and doing good. From my understanding, that's the extent of the update we were given. She didn't say if he's on a million more painkillers and even more freaking hallucinating because of them and everything. So, but the update was the surgery went well. Everything is in his spine is fixed. He's out of surgery and he's recovered. So, just thought I'd give you guys an update since I did update you guys on him yesterday. If you guys have been keeping him in your thoughts and prayers, and my family in your thoughts and prayers during this time, I thank you guys. I love you. Appreciate you very much. I know that, the channel isn't about, my personal life and stuff, but that was a big one where it was I'm going to give you guys an update on it because it is affecting me enough to the point that I have been, not as motivated to do cardio some days, or not as devoted to sticking to my diet some days. I'll tell you right now, I have deer burger with sweetener and seasonings and sugar-free barbecue sauce that I turned into beef jerky to take with me on this trip tomorrow. I'm going to go back into the house and I'm going to cook chicken and rice and meal prep it in meal prep bowls to take with me on my trip for this weekend. That's how dedicated to this I am. But this whole thing with Dad kind of affected that a lot, where I wasn't motivated to cook. I wasn't motivated to meal prep. And so I was eating things I shouldn't have, or I wasn't eating at all some days, or I couldn't stop eating some days, to the point that I basically stalled for a week. The weight I am now is where the week started. Obviously, that's a setback. It's a massive setback. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we're on track. We're on track. I will start doing actual updates with a scale when I get a scale. Because that's one thing I have to do. I have to get my own scale. So once I have a scale, and it'll be the same scale every day, I'm going to start editing that in beginning of each video. Here's the weight. And then on every Monday, we'll do an add up. Well, it'll be Sunday for me. But every Monday for you guys, we'll have an added up amount, divide by 7. There's your average. And we'll start tracking the average rate per week. And then we will have the progress pics every 3 months that I had previously talked about doing. So the first, actually putting the progress pics on a video will be January 20th for me. It'll be the 21st for you guys. The pictures were taken on October 20th, so that's exactly 3 months later. So that is something we are going to start doing on this journey. It will kind of be in place of something like a pose down, right? Because I'm in no place to be doing pose downs, unless you guys just deeply want to be scarred for life, which I don't think you do. Not that the progress pics won't accomplish the same thing, but it will kind of take that place in the video of maybe after I talk about the weekly average or after the weigh-in. It would just depend on what day the 20th falls. I'll be here's the photos before, after, October 20th, January 20th, 3 months later. And then we will take those January 20th pictures and we will compare them to 3 months after that. January, February, March, April. So April 20th. And we'll go from there. April, May, June, July. So the last progress pics will be in June, because that's when the show is, which means we have 8 months, 9 months. Yeah. Crap. But we gotta kick it into high gear. No more moping around, no more skipping cardio. We gotta walk in. So love you guys. Appreciate you guys. If you like the video, like it. If you know someone who might like the video, share it. If you made it this far and you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. You made it this far anyways. We are on our way to 100 subscribers. I did really like to hit it before the new year. I think we can hit it before then, but we'll see. Harder than last time supplements. Black Friday sale is on the 24th and the 25th of November. Those 2 days only. You will not only get your 15% off, but also a free gift if you use my code JS15. For example, you could buy a pre-workout and you get a free bottle of GO2 Max with it, or a free box of Turk. It depends. It's going to be random, but every purchase those 2 days using my code JS15 will receive a free gift. The merch is in the link in the description. I dropped the prices. Everything is 10% or more off from where it was. It doesn't say that on the website. I don't know how to make it say that. I'm the one running the website. I can't find an option to do that, but I knocked all the prices down by 10% or more, depending on what the price was, because everything on there was pretty expensive, and I don't want it to be. In fact, a few of the items I am losing money on to sell them to you for that price. But I really don't care. All of that being said, Instagram, TikTok, also in the link in the description. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Tomorrow is a hamstring focused leg workout. Again, it will probably be more in the realms of a higher intensity, lower volume workout. Not exactly the same as today, but something similar. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for hamstrings.